No, I would just let it be.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Let it be. Let it be. I will say, I got some feedback on this spontaneous combustion into song. People are loving it. People are loving it for the most part. I mean, some people aren't loving it.
Call them out.
Kevin and Nicole. You know who you are.
Opinions I didn't really care about.
But brutal. But here's the thing. I've known this about them because I'm a sing talker. Fellow sing talkers.
Yes.
Like I've known this about them
Real
since the dawn of
recognizes
time.
real.
Right. Exactly. So I've known this about them since the dawn of time that they don't like my sing talking. And now that I'm doing it and recording it for the whole world to see, it's just,
coming to light again.
sing talking live.
With a mic. What it do?
So much power. Gorgeous. When you get that Christina. No, Christina is what Blake is because he's off-brand Christina.
True. Oh my God. Today I went to this event and I was obviously a glass of wine and a cocktail deep, and it was this guy's birthday next to us. And so I was like,
happy birthday.
I started singing happy birthday. I was like, yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God. He got dinner and a show.
I know. I was like, that'll be $5.
At least.
At
Blake,
least.
charge more for that.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing it right now for free, but.
Yeah. Patreon coming soon.
What
Just kidding. I'm actually anti-Patreon. I think it's the dumbest thing.
Like, just give the people the access that they want.
It's really like gatekeeping energy for me. And I'm like, that's not cool.
It's giving girl boss gatekeep.
Like, you can just get another
Gaslight.
sponsor. Get
Just
another
get
brand
another
deal. Like, why
sponsor.
am I having to pay to get your stuff if you're giving it to me for free Monday through Friday? I don't know. Not to at the toast, but like a little. That's the only reference I have.
Here's the thing. I just really want to see the Nashville vlog, but I don't want to pay for the Nashville vlog.
Yeah, it's just like you can make money off of YouTube videos. So just put it on YouTube
just
and have an
monetize.
ad on it and make money. I don't know. It's a little like, ugh, to me. That's my ick.
That's your ick. Is that your one ick? No, you have so many.
No, girl, my one ick, girl. One of 1 million. You kidding me? I'm like one of the most judgmental people you'll ever meet. But I've been keeping it real, so it's not as judgmental. What I told Olivia yesterday, I said, it's not mean if it's true. I said, I'm just pointing out a fact.
And I responded with, I'm so glad that Blake speaks his mind because he says all the things that I think that I'm too scared to say out loud.
Yeah, then I just look mean because I'm saying what everyone's thinking.
No, but then I nod in agreement most of the time.
Yeah. But it's fine. I'll take one for the team. I don't care.
And we're doing it.
That's
It was pretty good.
I think we need to work on it. Okay, guys, let us know. Do you like that? See, because when I was listening to it, I'm like, it still feels really nasally. But we need something catchy. We need a fun little ringtone to start off the show. But I don't know if we're doing it. Like, for some reason, it just seems like, we're doing it.
A little.
Like now that you hear it, like I can't get rid of that in my head.
Yeah. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
A WIP, if you will.
Hey, listen, y'all, we're new. So
we're newbies to
give
this
us a
podcasting
minute.
world.
We haven't hired someone to do all this for us yet. So just give us a minute.
We are coming at you live, though, from
Bridget's house.
My house.
New venue.
New venue. We're on my couch. We're trying it out. We're just switching it up. There was something else that came up. There was a guy named Charles Lindbergh. He was like an aviator or something.
Oh, yeah. You were saying something.
No, but then there was the Hindenburg blimp. Moral of the story is could not have picked a more like similar sounding thing.
Yes.
Also, Luxembourg, a country.
Oh, yeah. You told me. Yeah. Just it's similar to a lot of things. So give me grace.
This is going to be a through line now.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time date number 72 with Hindenburg.
We're in a
Instead of
long-term
episode number,
committed
it's date number.
Date number. Cute.
Genius.
Brilliant.
Graduation season.
Graduation season. Congrats to all the grads.
Congrats to the grads.
Congratulations. We're so proud of you. You're 1 degree or 2 degrees or some people 3 degrees hotter now.
Honestly, 3 is doing too much. I hate to say, there's a stage where like you're overeducated and like not in a good way.
Like stop being so smart.
Well, and it's like you're book smart. Like this is gonna come up, but like I have physically learned more about the way the world works and like actual skills in a job setting in the last 2 years. Than I did the last 18 years of like school. Yeah. So it's like I'm sorry, you may know a lot about a molecule or like a plant ecosystem, but like girl, you don't know how to work your way around the office or like work your way around like using actual technology in the job that whatever it is that you're going to do. I don't know. That's just my own personal opinion.
I thought you were going to say something really funny where you said you're book smart, but you don't know how to like, and I was going to say, oh, are you street smart? Like you can catch Blake in the streets, like fighting people.
Oh,
Blake,
I'm street smart.
You are street smart and you're really good at directions, unlike myself. Not one of my strengths and almost everybody knows that, but
That's okay.
I was just going to say how Blake really wants to get into a bar fight.
I do.
And I think it's going to happen for you, but I feel like it's more going to be just like you absolutely annihilating someone like with your words, with your words.
Okay. And I'm so down for that.
You're
like violence is not the answer.
No.
Physically,
no.
Verbally though.
Yeah. And like you wanted to get in a bar
Girl,
fight in New York City.
crumbs.
You walked into New York City and you said, oh, I think I'm going to get in a bar fight here. And I said, please don't. It's too expensive.
I was feeling it for myself.
No, but the streets will make you feel brand new.
Yeah, it's
Big
still a
lights
goal
will
of
inspire
mine.
you.
It's still a goal of mine. So if anybody wants to get into a brawl, let me know.
If someone wants to fight Blake, comment.
If someone needs a backup, literally hit my line.
Yeah, you would be a really good like in the back, like like
262, get that
weaving.
bitch.
That's a reference I don't get.
No,
that's
like
okay,
that's
though.
like my phone number, like 262, like get that bitch. Like like 1-800 contacts or like something like that. Like because 262 is the area code of Wisconsin, so like hit me up and I will come a running.
Okay, because I was gonna say my area code is 630, and I say but 630, like, and people call it the dirty 630.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not as good as yours.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway,
we do this thing where we go off topic really quickly.
yeah,
Which
and
is
we got
again-
off talk about. Oh my God. We got off topic about getting off topic while we were off topic. So like we really need to get back into it. So we're adulting. Sophomore year. Bridget's going to lead this episode. She's got some questions. She's got some thoughts.
I have questions for Blake Biggie.
Yeah.
I want to know how he's feeling, what he's
forth.
doing. Yeah. We're going to have a little podcast conversation, if you will.
Crazy.
But yeah, I was thinking about sort of graduation season. It's been 2 years since Blake and I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Mm-hmm.
We love the Badgers. We love Madison. And I saw all these grad photos and all these pictures and TikToks. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's been 2 years. What have we been up to? What have we been doing in our, sort of bebe phase?
What have we been
of
doing?
adulting? What have we been doing?
Okay.
What would Blake and Bridget do? We're going to tell you
Right
what we would do and
now.
what we've been doing.
Perfect. Okay. I'll go first. So
Yeah.
this is what I've been doing.
Walk us through it.
Let's walk you through.
Let's go
So
back.
POV, it's May 2021.
Yep.
Okay. Let me just get my dates right here.
You're right.
So Blake graduates. Okay, we're gonna talk in the third person. So
You're like a narrator.
I love
like
that.
Enter Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
And like a
Okay.
montage.
yeah. Okay, so Blake graduates. He goes back to Wisconsin. He's in Wisconsin still. He goes back to Kenosha. Also living in Madison. Also living in Kenosha. Back and forth between those two different places. And he's trying to get a job. He doesn't really know what he wants to do. He has this degree. He could do a lot of things. He has a lot of interests, a lot of hobbies. And he's basically decided that if he doesn't get a job in Madison, if he doesn't get a job in his hometown, or if he doesn't get a job in either of those places, he's moving to DC. Like that was my end all
he
be all.
is.
Yes. So I was like, if I don't get a job in Madison, if I don't get a job in Kenosha or somewhere else in Wisconsin, like I could do Milwaukee and like drive or something, whatever. I'm going to DC. Like that's that. So I spend the entire summer. I'm working at the hospital emergency room. Shout out Meritor. We talked about this last episode. And I was continuing to apply to all these different jobs, nonprofits, government organizations, marketing brands, like anything that was interesting to me. And I didn't ever got a job. And so I was like, okay, well, it was like the end of August or the end of July. And I was like, okay, mom, like nothing's happening for me. I'm taking my ass to DC. And she was like, okay, like, I guess if you want to do it, you got to do it. Like there's no better time than the present. And I was like,
You're
oh my God.
doing it.
Yeah. So she was super supportive. So we flew out here, looked at apartments. I ended up getting an internship on the Hill. And like 2 weeks later I moved. So I moved to DC. I'm in DC now. I'm doing my DC things. I was interning on the Capitol Hill and I did that for a couple months. And then I ended up getting a full-time job on the Hill. On the Senate side, did not like it at all. I did that for like half of a year. It was terrible. It was torture.
They just cramped your style.
Yeah, it was just the office was not for me. And great member, the people were very nice, but it was like I clearly, if you know me or if you listen to this, you can tell I'm a colorful person. I'm a bold personality. And like, I was not going to fit in their little square. Like I was going to draw the square myself and they didn't like that.
And it was going to be a big square.
Exactly. Like, so we just, had a little difference. And I just realized that I did not like working on the hill. It was not for me. I needed to be more creative. And so I started to apply to all these jobs and I ended up where I am now with my gorgeous, beautiful, stunning, wickedly talented PR company. And now I do PR and marketing. And I've done that for the last year and a half. I'm a publicist now.
Yes. Crushing it, by the way.
Yes, we love it. And so now I do PR and marketing for restaurants, hotels, lifestyle brands, tourist companies, basically anything that's fun.
All of the fun things I do are because of Blake and Blake's really cool, fun job. And Blake, like fully, I think you perfectly encapsulated it. Like you are doing what you're meant to be doing and they were really trying to cramp your style. But I think to the same degree, I think you appreciate like where you are now a lot more because you were in a place like where they didn't let you be what you wanted to be and do what you wanted to do.
Yeah. And I said this too. It was like, well, I needed to do that because I thought that was what I wanted to do. And like, if I wouldn't have done it, then I wouldn't have realized that like does not work for me. Sort of thing. And that's the beauty of things.
That's the beauty of life.
Like that's always the positive. Even trying bad food, I'm like, hey, but if I didn't eat it, I would have been like thinking about, well, I should have ate that. I should have tried that. And now it's like, oh, well, I had it and it's not for me. So that's a win.
Exactly. That's a beautiful metaphor for life.
It really is. Take that with you.
All right, let's end the episode here. Yeah,
okay, that's enough. Thanks for listening. But yeah, so my job's amazing. Obviously, we have bad days. Obviously, we struggle. Things are sometimes not ideal. Not that they're never ideal. But yeah, it's amazing. It's great. I am so thankful. They have given me so many opportunities. I feel like I'm very involved in my DC community now.
You really are.
I sit on a board for like a association out here in DC, so I'm involved with that. And I'm just out here being a little doer, moving around, doing things. So
Blake is the doiest doer I know.
So those have been my last 2 years.
Yeah.
For a quick overarching, review of it, obviously we'll get more into the nitty gritty as this first season of the podcast pursues and you'll learn more. But that's the grand overview. So Bridget, what have you been doing?
Thank you for asking. I have been doing some things. I've been doing some things recently, especially one of them being this podcast. We can rewind to back again.
It's your May 2021.
Back at it again with May 2021.
What was Bridget doing?
I was also in Madison, Wisconsin. I was sad to be leaving, but excited. Nonetheless, I actually got a job offer at the end of the summer of 2020 with the firm the public affairs and political consulting firm that I had interned at for 2 summers. And I liked what I was doing and I was getting pretty good at it. And so I was like, heck yeah, I'll take the job. So I sort of went about my entire senior year of college with the job, which was a blessed experience to be in, especially sort of with the state of life and how things were for people. And
yeah, well, I was going to say, not to interject you, but like, I feel like there's 2 types of college grads. Like you either have a job when you graduate college, or it's like you graduate and you're like, wait, I don't have a job.
Yeah.
And then you spend the next months years trying to find one. And I feel like you had the experience of like you had yours by the time you graduated, and mine was like, oh my God, like I had to go find it, like WTF. That was just an interesting point I wanted to make, which I feel like is really that's the 2 sides of the college experience.
We both had like the 2 different sort of ends of the spectrum of where you could be at. Yeah. I officially signed my job offer in like the winter, like at the start of the new year of 2021. And then right after I graduated in May, I knew I would be moving in July and starting my new job. So I went back home for a month and got all my stuff together. And I'm a girly who likes stuff. So I had a lot of stuff and my lovely father drove a U-Haul out to DC for me.
Iconic.
Thanks, Mark. And me and my mom flew with all my clothes and suitcases and I moved in and I started my job in public affairs. I was an intern, like I said, for 2 summers. And then I did that for about the past year and a half, working with clients across industries, from healthcare to energy to fashion to technology, kind of all over the map. And then I had this moment.
A moment
in time where it
was time to do something new.
It was time for me to do something new.
Your plant has gotten big. You needed a new pot.
I needed oh my God, Blake and I were just talking about about our plants. And this is literally that. Like, I outgrew my pot.
Yes.
And I needed to spread my wings or leaves or branches,
exactly.
if you will.
You just
whatever
need more room
extended
to
metaphor.
grow.
Yeah. Totally. And Blake and I have talked at length about what that looks like. And I feel like he was really, first of all, he was the person who sent me the current job I have on LinkedIn. So I really owe it to Blake Biggie. I owe so many things to Blake Biggie, but I really owe this to him because he sent this to me and it couldn't have been a more perfect job for me. It was everything that I like and am interested in and care about, but also have the skills in. And it's a really cool, awesome job that I have now that I started about a month ago.
I was to say, I thought it was a month.
Yeah.
It feels
about
like,
a month
I mean, it's been a year.
Wow. It's been such a whirlwind. And I interviewed with this job for like 2 months too. So it's been basically my entire year so far is pursuing this and really like being in the job hunt. Which is not an easy thing. And we could also do a whole other episode about that and the power of LinkedIn. Hey.
Honestly, true. That's how I got my job, too. I just saw it on LinkedIn. It was like an easy apply. And I was like, bam.
Bam, bam, chicken and ham. We did it.
Crazy. Yeah, use LinkedIn, y'all. It works.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And stay at it, too. You have to be
or ask your friends to search for
diligent.
you.
Yes. And then Blake will send you like 5 and it'll literally be one of the 5 and you apply and then you get your dream job. But I really, truly feel like we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Which is so fun. So that's the job aspect of things. I kind of want to talk a little bit, though, about, which, to be fair, our job is what we do most of the time.
Yeah. It's like, that's just America. It's Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
9 to 6, more than that sometimes.
Petition for the 4-day work week.
Seriously.
Real.
We have summer Fridays coming up. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy for you.
Oh, you probably don't get that, don't you?
I don't.
Rip.
I mean, like in theory I do, but like I don't.
Yeah. Oh, and just for context, I work fully remotely.
Yeah.
But I have the opportunity to do a lot of things in person.
Yeah.
Just because of the nature of my work. And Bridget you work fully in the office. You worked from home today, but
I did. I think for the most part, I'm in the office 5 days a week.
Which you like have to be.
You kind of have to be with the job I have. You really have to be like in the thick of it.
Yes.
Literally. But I came from a hybrid work style, which is my personal fave. It was kind of the perfect combination for me as someone who just like, and I used to walk to work too, which was delightful, but
it's nice to have a mix.
It was a good mix. And I think my Mondays and Fridays were really like sacred times too, because I could like get my shit done.
I think hybrid is the best way, and like that was the end of our college experience because of COVID.
Right,
Things were hybrid, like you could do some stuff in person.
I think to a certain degree, like that was a blessing, and I mean that's probably affected that. It has affected the way that people work in general because of COVID.
The way that their job should go.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's made like my last year I was fully remote. I think my very last semester.
Same.
So like I just got used to doing everything on my computer and like
you have to be self-sufficient.
Yeah. And I'm fully remote now. So it's like, okay, like I got to set the time for myself to sit at my desk or go somewhere where I can do my work.
Coffee shop Friday.
Yeah. I love to go to places and not work from my house because it's not always ideal some days.
Yeah, you gotta switch it up.
I feel like it was honestly like not in a like I feel like that's a very positive experience from COVID of like before like my first 2 years, like I would have hated to do an online class. Like I would have been like, take me there in person, like give me the paper, give me the pencil, like I need to sit in this lecture hall and listen. But then at the end I was like, wait, no, like I'm down for a Zoom. Like I can do this online discussion post and like that's how my work is now. Everything's virtual, so
it's a sense of freedom that you have to really like own your time.
Very much so.
And you own your space and, you know, you get to wear not work pants.
Yeah. And I'm a person who's very autonomous. Like I need to be in charge of myself.
Yeah.
And like that is a huge one of working from home. That was probably the biggest like problem with my last job is like felt like I was being bossed around too much and like had too many parameters. But here it's like I can do whatever I want because I am my own boss in the sense of like how I get my work done.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I have deadlines I need to meet. I have people above me who hold me accountable. But yeah. Anyway, that's a side tangent, but
no, super relevant though. And it's like a huge thing, I think, for our age group is the
like
COVID.
Young people don't like to be told what to do. It's just natural. But I feel like nobody does. So it's like, yeah.
And I think it's like a huge thing too where you...
Wait, sorry, quick moment. Do you want to be real? It just went off.
This keeps happening when we record.
It's like a sign from God.
It is. It
the
really
universe.
Is. That's just a little bit high level of sort of the job aspect of what the past 2 years have looked like. But I think I really want to dive a bit deeper into the social aspect of the post-grad life, because at least for me, I think for you as well, surrounded by socialness all the time in college. And that changed very quickly, because not only did I not live with 5 other girls, and
you were blocks away from each other,
blocks away, and we like had things going on all the time that we were being social for, you know what I mean? Events and
drinking
parties and this and that.
Yeah.
And then you know, graduate, and if you're like us, you move halfway across the country with virtually nobody,
no one
besides Miss Amelia Latinsky. Shout out to her.
True.
My social life was really strange for a really long time,
Very
because
different.
I was like, what do I do? How do I make friends? And so I just want to know a little bit about your experience, Blake, with, you know, post-grad social life, making friends, because if there's someone who is social, it's you. And I think you're so good at that. And you've made me better at making friends and better at, you know, like putting myself out there, and not getting nervous. So what tips and tricks do you have for the people? Tell us about it.
Okay. So many tips and tricks. I mean, I think the biggest thing is literally just talk to people. Like, you need to open your mouth in any sort of capacity. And I always say my job always like holds me accountable for being like the best networker they know. And it's
so good. You are
literally
so
because
good
I will talk to anyone. And it's like, you have to talk to people in the weirdest instances that they're not expecting it. Like, you can't go to a networker. Like, I don't do well when I go to a networking social and it's like expected to hand out my business card and talk to people. Like, I do well when we're standing in line at Gregory's and I'm like, oh my God, hey girl, like, what are you going to get to order? Like, I don't know what to get. Or it's like, we're at a reception of some sort and I'm like, ew, oh my God, this drink sucks. And like, I'm gonna bond with the person next to me about it. Or like, I'm at a bar and I'm like, okay, like, what are you going to get? Or like, do you need something? Like, I'll get it for you. Like, you have to do it in instances where the person isn't expecting to like go in there and like put their game face on and like, you know, like get something out of it. Like, it's super genuine and it's raw and it's real. And like, walking down the street, you know, Bridget and I met this woman and like, it turned into this whole ordeal that we're going to tell you about later.
It's a whole separate episode.
Yeah. And so it's like, that's when I do the best. And I feel like that's how I've made, this is my thing about DC though. So what I was going to say when you asked this question is like, I think it's really easy to meet people in DC, almost easier in college, because in college, I felt like there was kind of a stigma of like, oh, like you already have your friend group. So it's like reaching out to people, like everyone already feels kind of established.
I was just about to say,
especially by the end of it, where it was like,
oh, the last year, especially for sure.
Yeah, like you have your 5 friends and I have my 5 friends, and it's like the reality of the
we're
10
just
of
gonna
us
be
being friends, like, nah, like with a, you know, and it's not like, and it was like catty and negative, but it was just like, you know, we have what we need and like, whatever.
And then there's a COVID element to it too, which was a whole,
but I feel like here it's really easy to meet people, at least personally, probably because of the type of person that I am, but it's harder to do something with them, or like, cause everyone's busy.
Or
because,
like making solid plans and sticking to them is so hard.
And it's like, I have all these people who I would love to get to be more friends with, and I would love to get to know more, and I would love to hang out with in like a one-on-one setting or a non-work setting, but it's like, they're busy, I'm busy, or maybe they don't actually want to, and I'm reading it wrong of like, I'm really liking them. Not like in a dating way, but it's like,
just
I'm really liking this
way.
girl, and I'm like, I need a new girlfriend. Like, you want to go do something? Or it's like, they want to go get drinks, I want to go get drinks, but it's just never working out for us. Whatever the situation is, I feel like it's really easy to meet people here, but I feel like it's harder to build like that more personal relationship with them. But I also, in that same vein, think that that is just because of we're getting older, and like what I said last night at softball is like, you're gonna be my friend, you're gonna be my I use friend loosely, because I just consider anyone I know a friend, basically.
Same.
Because it's just easier.
You're
but, like,
a friend, but are you a bestie?
Exactly. Or it's like, you're my acquaintance, like we're on the softball team, and like we'll get along on our Thursday night, we'll have fun, we'll have drinks, but like, you're not gonna be my best friend of like, I'm gonna come to you when I like got broken up with, or like, you know, my parents upset me, you know, or like I had this traumatizing day at work. Like, I would never unload that stuff onto you. Where here it's, I feel like with getting older and just like like, I don't know, life, I feel like I've learned that it's quantity, not quality, or quality, not quantity.
Exactly.
And
That's
in college, I would have felt the other way. I felt like I needed to have more people,
know everyone,
more bodies. I needed to know more people. I needed to be closer with. I needed to be best friends with everybody that I knew, and that like I needed to know so much about them, and that they needed to know so much. And now I'm like, no, I got my 4. I got my like ride or dies. Everyone else, I love them. I appreciate them, but it's like you're an arm's length, an arm's distance, not negatively, but just because that's the way that life is sort of when you're older. It's like, you know, we're not going to sit here and like and do everything together sort of thing. I don't know how you kind of get what I'm trying to say. I
totally get what you're trying to say. And I am totally in agreement in the sense of, and it's like so fun to meet other people, but I'm like, oh, like I don't have to do a lot of explaining when I'm talking to this person, or like they just know all these things and know all these people. And I think a huge thing about DC culture that I've noticed, and I think maybe in general, but I live in DC, so this is what I'm closely aligned with, is like the interesting like work-life balance that is a lot more work and a lot less life, I feel like.
Very much here.
And so it's like everybody a lot of the time is just really good friends with their work friends or like their colleagues, right?
The second job or the second question everyone asks you is, what do you do?
What do you do? Oh my God.
After your name, it's what do you do?
Who do you work for?
Then the conversation either turns into like, oh, your job sounds interesting, I want to learn more. Or it's like our jobs kind of collide. Like, how can I network with you? Because you can introduce me to who you know, or how can I get something out of you? Like that's DC life. And that's how I feel like it's easy to meet people, because everybody is wanting to network, quote unquote. But it's like, am I networking for friendship or am I networking for career advancement?
Right.
And I feel like it's the first one that's harder to like
distinguish.
Yeah, to like network of like, oh, I actually really like you, but then it's just like people aren't as willing to like actually hang out with each other.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. I don't know.
And I think a thing that I've noticed a lot about sort of the post-grad friendships that I've made, because I'm still really close with a lot of my college friends. I'm still very, very close with some of my high school friends. I mean, we got matching tattoos.
And we love the girlies.
We love the girlies. Yeah.
Do y'all have a name?
We
like,
call ourselves
like
the silly sexy sunflowers.
Okay, well the silly sexy sunflowers are a fucking slay, let me tell you.
That's our group chat name. Thank you, Blake. We love you too.
Yeah, they're the best.
But we do have a sunflower tattoo together, so we're very close. But I think the common denominator between all of us is that we're all Midwesterners, which I think is really interesting. And I say this to a lot of people, especially when I go back home. I'm like, all of my friends in DC are Midwesterners, because we sort of have this like commonality of like
what life should look like.
Exactly. Like, and like how we grew up.
This is like, realistic. You know, like this is not it, guys.
Yeah. And I think totally agree. That's so telling, right?
It is.
And so it's, I think the social life, I mean, I think we have fun. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think
but it's just different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I just totally lost my train of thought.
Friendships, especially, because I'm not in a relationship.
Me neither. Rip.
We're single, everybody.
If y'all know anyone,
we will have a whole episode about.
My bar is so low. Side note.
Blake, just get the husky jeans, okay?
Please.
But when it comes to things like friendships, it's work. It's a lot of work.
It is work. And I'm noticing that with my friends from home specifically. Yeah. Like, this is what I was going to say. I remember now. Okay, so Taylor King, TK's Juicy Pulls.
Oh, we love.
If you know who that is, you know what I'm talking about. She made this TikTok where she was like, honestly, like, I feel like a red flag that nobody talks about is like, if you don't have friends from your past life, like, that's concerning. And so that made me think about your, you know, sexy sunflower girly pops.
Yeah.
And like, I have my friends from home.
Yeah.
But I've been noticing the last couple of months of like, I have not like chit-chatted with them in a hot minute. Like, what are they up to?
Yeah,
you know, like so
busy.
Right. And or it's like even my cousins who I'm close with, and it's like you know, the phone works both ways. So obviously it's partially on them to reach out to me.
Relationships are a two-way street.
With anyone who you're talking to.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like I go through this every couple of months where I'm like, wait, like I haven't talked to Layla in a while. Like, let me text her. Like, what's going on? You know, it's like I see the stuff that you're posting. Like I'm following you on your stories and stuff. Or like my cousin just graduated college. I didn't even realize it was her college graduation today. So then I was like, oh my God, like I need to.
Congrats.
Yes, congrats, Joya. We love you. So I was like, oh, like I got to catch up with her.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm going to go home and see her, but I was like, like I haven't talked to her in a hot minute. Like, you know, I feel like that's a big thing, especially just living across the country from people.
Right. You can't just get in the car because neither of us have cars.
Yes. But the same thing even goes for like being on the ground. Like I have bartender friends who I'm like, I don't see them, you know, in between our shifts every Saturday. So it's like every week I have to come and like relearn about you in a way, you know?
No, it is. It's really, it's work and it's effort that needs to be put in. And I think you start to realize the people in my life who I'm like, oh, you guys are like forever people.
Like, it's like, who do I want to put my effort into?
Yes.
Like, it's like dating.
Exactly. And it's just like, who do I see years and years down the road
who's going to
still
be there
being
with
in my
me?
life?
Yeah.
Wherever that is, whatever that is. And it's, you know, especially in quote unquote long distance friendships too, like you have to put in the work and then you also have to like find time to see each other because it all comes down to like putting in effort and putting in work. And I think the best piece of advice I've ever heard, like ever, but heard in the realm of like friendships, it's like, if you ever find yourself thinking of that person, right? Like you just said, Blake, I thought about, like, I saw her post, I saw this, like, text them.
Yeah.
As soon as you think about them and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I wonder how they are, text them, because then you can find out and you can reconnect, or you can, you know, just like keep a conversation going that you had a bit ago and like pick up as business as usual. But like, if you find yourself thinking about someone and wondering how they are,
literally just say something.
Just say something. Text them, call them, FaceTime them, whatever it is. And it might seem daunting, right? Especially if it's been a while. But like at the end of the day, like these people know you and they love you and care about you.
Communication is key. And like it's this, what is it, a cliche for a reason, because it's real. It's true. Yeah.
Totally.
The way that I would sum it up is literally I always get this backwards. Quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't need to be best friends with everyone.
It's impossible to be.
Like, I just need to have fun with you. And it's like, I mean, I feel like this is a trend on TikTok where it's like, you have your going out friends, you have your like staying in friends, you have your like dinner friends, you have your like travel friends, like, and it's like real. And it's not like, it's not negative in any way, but it's like, you know, I have my industry friends who I'm like, okay, are you going to this networking thing? Are you going to this happy hour? Are you going to this event? You're going to have those people at your new job now. When you get invited to stuff, you know, it's like, okay, we're going to have each other. I'm going to have the people who it's like, okay, my whatever that is. Anyway, we're getting off topic, but
but social life is different. But like not in a bad way, just different. Totally. Well, the last thing I kind of want to touch on is just like responsibilities and how, you know, you have more of them.
Or who's doing what.
Right. Like who's doing what.
Because going back to living in a house of 5 people, it's like, well, who's putting the dishes away? Like, you know, it's person 1's turn.
Right.
Or like person 3 took out the trash last time, so person 4 needs to do it this time.
Right. Give us a little bit of a lowdown on what your living situation was like and what it is like now.
So I'm just going to skip to the last 2 years because that was the most relevant. So I lived in a house with 5 people and then 4 people.
Okay.
It was very much kind of like whoever just does it sort of thing. But it was the same people doing the same things. The classic roommate drama, you know, of like, I'm taking out the trash every single time. Why? Well, because I did it the first time. So now everyone just assumes that I'm going to do it every time. Or whatever the situation is. Cleaning, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, living in a house with a lot of people. You were also in a house with a lot of people. And I just feel like that stuff sort of gets like... responsibility is hard to pin. It's hard to hold people accountable for things because it's everyone's stuff in every situation or whatever that is. I will also say a total side note about responsibilities is like, it was amazing to me how many people I knew in college whose parents still did stuff for them.
Oh my God. Yeah. But like, and not like everything.
Yeah. And it's not to be negative. It was just really interesting. And like, my parents have never been that type of way with me. And so I was like, oh, like your mom still is like, you know, bringing you groceries and making your appointments and like ordering this stuff for you and like figuring these things out. I'm like, what? I'm like, I asked my mom for $10 and she said, see, you thought like, I'm like, damn. And not like because she's being negative, but it's like, you know, it's like, Bessie, you're on your own now, child.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta do it.
I'm paying for your school and like, what's that? You know? Like I paid for my own rent when I was going through school. So like, I know. So it's just like interesting to me. And I feel like now it's very much the same thing of like that narrative has continued for me. So it hasn't been like a huge learning curve where I feel like some people who may have gotten cut off from their parents by now, or whoever their source was, are really having to navigate. Like I have to make appointments for myself. I have to pick up after myself. I have to like pay for all of these things myself. Or maybe they're still under that grace, you know, and that I don't hate to use the word privilege because I hate that word, but you know that.
Yeah, but I don't think it's misplaced when you say it in this context.
So I just feel like that's interesting. But I will say the responsibility side of things, like, yeah, I gotta make my own appointments. Yeah, I gotta hold myself accountable to do my work. I hold myself accountable to like get me my food, to, you know, give my body what it needs, to, you know, take myself to the gym.
Take care of yourself.
But the biggest thing for me is like cleaning my space is what I've come to learn. Like I've been stressed out the last 2 weeks. So like I feel like my place feels like a disaster because mentally I'm not the best I could be.
That happens to me too. Your environment reflects your mental state.
It's like
and
I
vice
come home
versa.
late. I throw shit on the floor.
Like,
I throw
I'm
shit
tired.
on my couch.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Like I don't want to do my laundry and like shit's piling up.
But you're the one that has to do it.
Exactly.
Sadly.
It's like little things like that I feel like are the most inconvenient when it comes to adulting, which it was still there in college, but it felt like a little not as serious because I was like, whatever, like I'm a college student. Like I can be a little messy. I can be a little blah, blah. Like I'm 20.
People don't like feel some type of way about it.
But now I'm like, I'm 24. I'm living on my own in the city across the nation. Like I need to get my fucking shit together.
Yeah.
But I'm like, ooh, like haven't cleaned my bathroom in a while.
Ooh, I don't want to. I know, I was looking at my shower. I'm like, oh, I need to clean my shower. But like cleaning a shower sucks.
It literally is the little things. It's like cleaning the sink.
Yeah.
Who knew you had to do that? Like I did, but you know what I'm saying? Just like it's the little stuff like that I feel like is the really, it feels the most obvious. Yeah. But I feel like also the most telling.
Oh yeah. And you feel it the most. And I think I completely agree with everything that you've said. And I think for me, it was interesting. It's like so weird every time I say it because I'm like, whatever.
You were the president?
Yes. I was the, no, I don't blach about it, but it's going to be a whole book.
Just get
I'll
it
write
out.
a whole book about it. But I was the president of my sorority in college, which like I had no business being in charge of like 250 women, a lot of their housing and like all these things that I just like had never even done for myself, let alone.
You were a mother.
I was
at that point.
A mother.
Yeah.
I was like helping people and I couldn't
Teen
even legally
pregnancy is
drink.
up this year.
Because of me.
Bridget.
It was so fascinating. And I think it was like a crash course in adulthood and a crash course also in like people skills. And like, as grateful as I am for the experience, I don't quite know if I'd do it over again. But I think after that, I really like had a sense of like adultness about me. And I also, I mean, I was still like silly and goofy and crazy. Don't get it twisted. And I still am. Like that really kind of like smacked me in the face with reality because it's really just such a learning curve. And I learned a lot about myself, I think was like truly.
Yeah. Well, what does that look like now that it's like your own responsibility?
Oh,
you know,
right.
Like you had these 230 people that you take care of, but now it's like, you know, tomorrow when you wake up, like you got Bridget.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is a beautiful transition into sort of like my favorite part of adulthood, which is like, I'm so in the era of me.
Yes. You said you were going to say that.
Yes. I really truly am. Like I live alone right now and I thought I was going to hate it and I love it because as much as
I remember you were so nervous.
I was really nervous.
Really trying to hype you up. Like it's magical living alone. I have to say.
It really is. It's like, I live in this space and it's beautiful and it's mine and I love it and everything's the way that I want it and I have ownership over it, as much as it sucks to clean sometimes, but I just truly am in this like phase of life where it's all about me, not in like a bad way.
No, like I don't in think, the best like, version of that.
Right. I mean, sometimes I'm like, okay, Bridget, like call your grandma, you know, like you need to like get out of your own, you know, zone a little bit.
It's like, you know, I'm feeling down, but like it would be good for me if I went to this thing. Yes. Or like if I saw these people.
Yes. Like it's easy to stay on my couch, but like, no, I need to like go out and be social. You really learn a lot about yourself when you spend a lot of time with yourself.
Yeah. There's a power into it all. Like it feels good to do this for myself. Yeah. Like it feels good that like this is what I wanted and like I got it.
Yeah. And I think that's always like what I've envisioned for this is just being able to like focus on my career and focus on doing what I want to do, doing it, if you will. I don't know. What's your favorite part of adulthood so far?
I was going to say, okay, well, there's two things I was going to say. So the first thing that came to mind is like my favorite thing. I knew that I was a really career driven person and I feel like I'm like so excited to go to work every day. Some days
so awesome.
More than other. Yeah, it's a true, it is a blessing. Like when my friends are like having their bad days, I'm like, you need to leave. Like if your job is making you cry, if your job is putting you in a mental state that like you don't want to be in consistently
all the
like,
time.
Different than like a one day that like went to shit.
Right.
Obviously
everybody has
that's
shit
fine.
Days.
Yeah. But like I feel like I really like had my, you know, awakening, my time on the hill of of like, if I do not like the situation that I'm in, like your boy is gone.
Yeah.
And like, I have no problem leaving. Like I had my first job and I quit it after 6 months because that shit sucked.
It wasn't for you.
And I feel like that's a real fear for people.
It is.
Quitting anything that they're doing. But it's like, not that I've been a quitter, but I'm like, I knew from the young age, like anything that I did not like, I was out. So I feel like that's been like the real blessing of like, if I don't like what I'm doing, like I can leave. If I don't like who I'm around right now, I'm going home. If I don't
you have free will.
Exactly. Like so much free will of that is, I feel like, been my favorite thing. And chasing my career as,
he's on the go.
Yeah.
He's
I
moving.
don't want that to be like, I feel like I'm a workaholic, but it's just like,
no, I don't think you are. I think you
it just
have
comes
a
so
beautiful,
naturally where it's like, not that I can't stop, but like, it's just easy. Not easy, but I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It's natural.
It comes natural. Yeah,
it
like
comes
what
natural,
I just said, like,
and you like it. You genuinely like it.
It comes natural, and I like it. Like obviously, there's things that I still need to learn. There's days that are hard, but it's just like things continue to like align and work out.
So
you know, this person
cool.
who's that person. Oh, I know this person too, and like I know it just like is continuing to spiral into a positive thing for me.
Yeah.
So that has really been exciting too, and I always knew that I wanted to be I was very career driven and success focused, and like you know, I didn't move across the country to like be a deadbeat.
No, you
know,
did
like
not.
So it's like I got to like do things for my people, for my Kenosans.
For you gotta rep the Kenosans here in the district.
Exactly, like Wisconsin, rise up. What about you?
On the flip side, right? Like, what's your least favorite part of adulting? For me,
love.
Because obviously, pros and cons, P's and C's, always. Exactly. But like financial things, like a 401k, a Roth IRA, taxes.
Should we do an episode on that?
We could. I'll just probably get anxious and sweaty. But I think it's like I am financially, I'm insecure about my financial literacy. There we go.
I love that, Bridget. We should talk about it because
we should. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to talk about it and learn, because like the more you talk about it, the more you learn, and the more like you communicate, especially with other people in a similar
you get
phase
more
of
comfortable
life.
with it.
Yeah,
that was what I was gonna say.
Because I just feel like it's something, like I didn't go to business school. I didn't really learn it ever in class or in high school.
But you
whatever.
need to learn the personal aspect of it, which has always been my problem with education in general. Is it's like, how am I learning to like get me through my days?
Right, like balance my checkbook and like, you know,
negotiating, you know, contracts, like leases and work things, and
or like
bill
even like
paying,
interview practice and stuff, like just stuff that it's
checking
like
that I'm not getting
overcharged
on my Wi-Fi bill or my internet bill, or that's the same thing.
And like also
whatever
all
the
these,
thing is.
Yes, and like all these things where it's like being self-sufficient in the way that I'm like, okay, I don't want to call someone, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, I am a grown-ass woman and I should be able to do this. And yes, my dad did hang up my shelves in my apartment even after I tried twice to hang up the shelves. And sometimes you need to know sometimes you need to know when to call for help. Overarchingly, the hardships of adulthood are like, you know, those real life things that smack you in the face, like money.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately makes the world go around, and you got to pay your rent, and you got to work for a living.
Yep.
And you got to buy your groceries.
Like
but you
my
also
mom
have
always
to like
says, money is the root of all evil.
What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I think I would agree. I feel like the least thing, I mean, right now, this has nothing to do with adulting, so I feel like I need to pick a different answer.
If it's true to you, it's true to the topic.
That was cute.
Thanks.
Okay, I feel like my least favorite thing of adulting is this all ties in this overarching theme. I love themes. I love quotes. I love motifs.
Blake
I love cliches.
Themes.
Yeah, like you're gonna.
Anyone who follows either of us on Instagram knows that we love themes.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so I would say my theme is like doing it alone, even though they're only a phone call away. Like, I just feel like, you know, like I wish my family was here to do this with me, you know, or it's like I wish they could experience this with me, or my friends from home could do this with me, or I could have someone. Like I always ideally think about like whenever I have my life partner of I should be doing this with them, you know, like I should be doing this with someone, you know, or like I want them to know these people in my life or whatever, or like I want them to see me going through this thing or whatever it is. Or like sometimes, you know, like when you have a win about something, not monumental enough to feel like that you need to tell someone, you don't want to come off as bragging or something, but it's like you want someone to ask you like, how was your day, what happened, and you want to tell them about something. Like I want stuff like that. That's what I feel like I'm missing of. It's like, well, I come home to myself, you know, and like some days it's just a little like, damn, you know, like wish I had someone there. Yeah. So, but I feel like we talk a lot. So like,
that's a real thing though. That's
but
very
it's like,
real.
I wish I wasn't doing it alone all the time. Hard times and the good times. Because it's like, well, I
Right.
want someone to celebrate this with me.
Celebrate the wins and console the losses.
Yeah.
Totally.
Also beautiful.
Thank you. I'm feeling poetic. I've had half a glass of red wine, so I'm feeling...
And I got to pee, so maybe we can wrap this up.
We should wrap it up. Well,
was that
thought
everything? I think so.
This was everything we wanted to talk about, I think. And I really enjoyed sort of like the serious but like legitness of this episode.
Yeah,
I
and
appreciate
it's like
that
there's
about
so
it.
much more to come.
So much more.
Like we're just trying to like
We're going to be real and we're going to be silly.
Yeah, like we're just trying to pump out the content right now.
Yeah.
And it's like the details can all come later.
Exactly.
Once we find out what you want to hear more about. So if there was something that came up
that you
in
want
this
to know
episode
about,
that you want to know more about,
let
let's
us
chit
know.
chat about it.
Well, Blake, what are you doing this week?
Oh my God. Okay, so this week.
Or what did you do? I suppose
Okay,
it's
well,
Friday.
We're going to do both. So what I did is I held my first press conference on Thursday.
Yes, he did. And he crushed it.
Yes, that was so exciting. And what I'm doing is I'm going home tomorrow. I'm so excited to go back to Wisconsin and see my family. It was so cute. My mom texted me and said the welcoming committee will be ready for you when you arrive.
That's so cute.
Which I know is going to be all my aunts and my cousins, so I'm so excited to see them. And my cousin's getting married, so shout out to Channing if you're listening.
Congrats.
I'm so excited to celebrate you and Angel. So we're going to have some good old Wisconsin Biggie, Eckern, Paelli fun.
A biggie bash.
We're going to have a Biggie bash.
I'm excited.
Even
I
though
can't
it's
wait
my
to hear all
dad's
about
side,
it.
but it's my mom's side, but it's fine.
It's all
We're
better when
having a
it's Biggie.
party.
A party.
What did you do, Bridget? And what are you going to do?
Well, what I did was I just was on my work grind this week. I think I'm finally starting to get my mojo about it, which is good. The first few weeks of work were a little bit wild, and it was great because I just really got thrown into it, and that's kind of how I do my best. But at the same time, I feel like I'm really starting to get into the rhythm and like now understand more of the workflow, this, that, and the other. So I was just working and it was good.
You know what's up.
Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is this weekend, I'm just excited to sort of have a cutie little fun, chill weekend and bebop around, do some cleaning because we're adulting. I'm prepping for some things coming up, which is exciting. So I'm probably going to get my nails done, get a bang trim.
A you weekend.
A me weekend. Some self-care
You're in
moments.
your era of me.
I am. And I need to get my bangs trimmed. They're too long.
Yeah, I love it. Well, exciting.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Bridget, where can they find us?
Oh, so glad you asked.
I was going to have you ask me, but I actually don't remember. So this is your part.
Well, then thank God you asked. You can find us at WWBD Pod on TikTok and Instagram, and at WWBD Pod _ on Twitter. And then also subscribe to us on YouTube and stream us on all your favorite platforms for podcasts. Oh my God, so in sync. All right, well, we love you all so much. Thanks for listening and keep doing it.
Bye.
Bye.